Allie Finkle's Rules for Girls by Meg Cabot. Moving Day. Rule number 1. Don't stick a spatula down your best friend's throat. I like rules. The reason why is rules help make our lives easier. For instance, the rule about not killing people. Obviously, this is a good rule. Another good rule is everything that goes up must come down. This includes helium balloons. People don't know this, but you shouldn't let helium balloons loose outside, like at weddings or the Olympics or whatever, because what happens is eventually all the helium comes out and the balloons fall down, probably in the ocean, as literally death. Then they choke to death. So really that is 2 rules. Everything that goes up must come down, and don't let go of helium balloons outside. Science has a lot of rules, like the one about gravity. So does math, like that 5 minus 3 will always be 2. That is a rule. That's why I like science and math. You know where you stand with them, rule-wise. What I'm not so crazy about is everything else, because there are no rules for anything else. There are no rules, for instance, for friendship. I mean, besides the one about treat your friends the way you want to treat you, which I already broken about a million times. Like earlier today when my best friend Mary Kay Shanner and I were making the strawberry frosting for her birthday cupcakes. First of all, who puts strawberry frosting on cupcakes? Especially when Mary Kay knows perfectly well one of my rules is never eat anything red. Although in this case the frosting was pinkish, so technically it was okay. But still! Mary Kay's babysitter, who is also her family's housekeeper, Carol, was helping, and Mary Kay wouldn't stop crying, and I count Carol letting me lick the spatula. Like Mary Kay didn't just get to lick the beaters, since it was a birthday. Did anyone hear me complain that I all got the lousy spatula, and though truthfully I did most of the work, opening the box and all that? No. Also, at 9 years old, you shouldn't cry over things like not getting to lick a spatula. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm friends with Mary Kay. Except that she is the only girl my age who lives on my side on the high street, which I'm not allowed to cross without an adult, since that kid got hit by a car while he was riding a skateboard there. Which reminds me, here's another rule. Always wear your helmet when you're skateboarding, because if a car hits you, your brain will splat open and kids like me will spend their time waiting for the cars to go by, and so they can cross the street for looking bits of their brain the ambulance might have left behind the bushes. Anyway, while I was licking the spatula, Mary Kay was all, "She's getting more than me, and I don't want to taste." I don't know what I was thinking. I was just so sick of Mary Kay's whine. I mean, half the time I don't think Mary Kay knows how lucky she is, having a babysitter who is also a housekeeper who makes cupcakes for her to take to school on her birthday. We don't have a babysitter who is also a housekeeper, so no one in my family has time to make cupcakes, since my both parents work. So on my birthday, I had to bring store-bought cupcakes from Kroger and Scott Stampley, and he could taste the chemicals in them. Plus, Mary Kay has parents who will buy her whatever she wants like a hamster in his own habit trail because she is an only child and her parents can afford it. Maybe that is what I was thinking about when I said, "Here, Mary Kay," and held out the spatula. Maybe I was thinking about how Mary Kay has her own very pet, a hamster, Sparky, with a habit trail, whereas I only have a dog, Marvin, who I have to share my whole family. Maybe that is what I was thinking about when Mary Kay put the spatula into her mouth and I was still holding on to the end. Maybe that is what I was thinking about when I kind of shoved the spatula into her mouth a little. I meant it was a joke, a birthday joke. And okay, I know it was mean, but I just wanted to teach her a lesson about not being so greedy. I meant in a joking way. But I should know Mary Kay wouldn't take that in that way. As a joke, I mean. And I should have known she'd start crying, this time for real, because the spatula went down her throat. But just a little, like it barely went down. Maybe just her tonsils, but that's it. Still, this is not a good example of treating your friends as you want them to treat you. Also, it was all my fault. I said I was sorry about 1,000,000 times, but Mary Kay still wouldn't stop crying. Finally, I had no choice but to go home and sit in the wheelbarrow in the garbage and tell myself it was all my fault. I'd broken only rule of friendship there is, which I didn't make up myself. Although a part of me couldn't help me thinking that Mary Kay had broken an important rule, my own rule. Never eat anything red, but especially don't choose that color for your cupcake frosting if your best friend can't stand strawberry. Even though I had to admit that the frosting was pretty good, it tastes more like vanilla with red food coloring in it than it did like strawberries, which I hate. But still, the rule I broke was the most important one. The treat your friends the way you want them to treat you rule. I certainly wouldn't want someone to shove a spatula down my throat. Even if it was a little. I pretty much deserve not to be Mary Kay's best friend anymore, especially since clearly I didn't know the first thing about the rules of friendship. That is when it became clear to me that I needed to write them down, the rules I mean, because there are so many to remember that sometimes I forget them. And I'm the one who's making them up. So I found a spiral notebook in a box near the Christmas ornaments that Mom had marked as school supplies. Then, using one of her permanent markers that she saved for writing on her home improvement tools, and told us kids especially not to use, except this was an emergency. So I knew she would understand. I wrote Allie Finkle's Rules for Girls across the front of it. Then I wrote, keep back if you are not a girl. I wrote that because I have little brothers who are always butting into my business. I don't need them knowing my rules. They can make their own rules if they're not interested. I was sitting back in the wheelbarrow writing out the rule about remembering to wear a helmet while skateboarding on High Street when Carol surprised me by coming into the garage and asking me to come back to Mary Kay's house. She said Mary Kay was crying even harder because I left. Also, she said that I probably hadn't done any permanent damage to Mary Kay's uvula or tonsils. I got off the wheelbarrow and went back to Mary Kay's, even though I didn't really want to. I did it because that's what friends do. When I got there, Mary Kay hugged me and told me she forgave me, that she knew I hadn't meant to hurt her. I was glad Mary Kay had forgiven me, but secretly I felt a little mad too. Because of course I hadn't meant to hurt her, I swear. It's a total burden having a best friend who is as sensitive as Mary Kay. I always have to be super careful around her not to say or do the wrong thing, such as accidentally touch her uvula with a spatula, because Mary Kay is an only child and used to getting her way. And if she doesn't get her own way, like if we're parent playing lions, her favorite game, not mine. My favorite game is detective, not that we ever get to play it. And I say she should be the male lion for a change, because I have rug burns from crawling around doing all the hunting, and I want to lie around with the cute cubs, even though in the wild the female lions do all the hunting, not the male lions. If I know from my extensive reading on animals, she just starts crying. Or if I get to lick the spatula, she wants it. Still, I showed her my notebook, the one in which I was writing the rules. I thought maybe if she saw the rules, she might actually try following them for a change, especially the treat your friends the way you want them to treat you one. First, I made her swear not to tell anybody about it though. I explained to her that I was going to hide the notebook in a special place around under the slab beneath my bed so my brothers wouldn't find it. I thought this actually might make her interested in reading it, but it didn't. Mary Kay just yawned and asked if I wanted to play lines, which is too bad because anyone could use some help with the rules of friendship. Is Mary Kay. I'm starting to think I could use a best friend, a different, non-crying best friend, just for a change. It's kind of funny that I was thinking this because when I got home from Marrakesh that night, Mom and Dad told us we were moving. And that is the end of Rule 1. Don't stick a spatula down your best friend's throat. How was the book? Was it fun? See you later with Rule 2. Don't get a pet that peeps in your hand. See you later with Rule 2. Bye!